We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little.
The world he created exists for itself.
And so, my fellow nerds, ask not what your fandom can do for you, ask what you can do for your fandom. What's going on, friends in good company? Welcome back to another edition to the State of Star Wars. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. See all my friends up in the chat. Bill Tackett's here, Dat Boy Steve, Graf Webb, Darth Weaven, Tim's Talk, Nathan Emmert, Brian W, Matt Rissman's in here, OG's here, Brian W's in here, and Tevin Daniels. Hello. Good to see everybody. We have a lot to talk about tonight. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm a little tight right now. I'm not like loosened up. I'm not ready to dive into this. I gotta get in the groove because holy cow, the news has started rolling out from Disney and it just hasn't stopped. And it's not going to stop for a while, I think. But in a video that I made about, 18 hours ago, somewhere around there, I said, hey, look, here's the deal. Bob Iger is not going to be an Axeman, okay? He's going to come in. He's going to steer the ship. He's not going to do anything until they figure out what Disney wants to do with their CEO position. That was apparently not the case. I was completely mistaken. I'm shocked. Everybody is shocked. I know you're shocked. I was completely wrong on a video within like 18 hours. But it would appear, by all accounts, that Bob Iger is not wasting any time in terms of not only changing up staff, but the direction that Disney is heading. And I want to dive into that a little bit today. I want to take a look at it, but I need some theme music. I think I want some theme music. I always love the Ewok celebration. It's so good. Got a whole bunch of other people that popped in here. Just want to say what's up to Ted. Ted, how you doing? Brian, it's always good to see you. Chewbacca in the freaking house. Is that Pablo Hidalgo's head? What's inside his head? I can't see it. It's kind of an awesome profile picture, though. Darth Wizzy's up in here. What's up, brother? Oh, my God. I don't know if I should call you Arlena anymore. Jester's Dark Empress is here. Cody's here. What's up? Andy P is mad at me because I'm not playing Call of Duty with him right now. We had a date to play Call of Duty tonight, but the reason I wanted to do the stream today, which is a weird day, it's Tuesday, to do a State of Star Wars, is because I'm leaving. I leave tomorrow. Like as soon as the clock strikes 5, I'm in a cab and I'm out of here. I'm going down to Disneyland, which apparently the prices have already changed, believe it or not. And it's going to be more expensive for all the, fast passes or whatever they call them. I can't remember what the name of that. The Genie Pass. Loosen up. I know everybody's telling me, okay, all right. I got to loosen up a little bit. Get it, loosen up. Very funny. Time to talk about how much X loves Iger. Yeah, so good point, Dat Boy Steve. I think it's super interesting. I have seen all over from various different sides of what I would call, the fandom of people who think that this is a good thing. People are like, oh man, Bob Chapek is gone. Bob Iger's back. And I guess it depends on who you ask. But yeah, a lot of people think this is a very good thing. I personally don't. So I am to a degree, I guess you would call it. Well, no, straight up. I don't like forced wokeness when it comes to anything in modern pop culture. Do I think it's important that we do have diversity in our casting? This is going to sound boilerplate, but honestly, diversity in our casting that does reflect the world that we live in. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. But you need to hire the person that's right for the job for that to make sense. Iger was definitely one of the big proponents of, hey, it doesn't That's not why we're hiring. We're big on ESG, environmental social governance. We need to play the cards, and whether that's Bob Iger's outlook or he's just a smart businessman. Bottom line is, if you're in Hollywood, you do have to do that if you want to get the money to make the movies. Let me take a stop again. I want to say hi to some more people that are popping in. Daisy Blossom is in here. What's going on? Daryl the Derelict hopped in. Good to see you. James Kling. All my members are popping in. So good to see you. Moni G is in here. Nice intro, bro. Yeah, I did the voice of John F. Kennedy for that intro. I told you that already, but just in case anybody else didn't, I did the voice for JFK in that. Disney Star Wars, maybe Apple Star Wars. Yeah, there's a lot of. Okay, so we're gonna hit like a lot of different stuff. A lot of different stuff. That's very interesting take, Chewbacca. Genie is a racist term. Not gonna lie. Okay, all right. I don't know what that means, but okay. Donna Hergenrether's in here. Hail, what's going on? KG's up in here. Change is good, even if it's like JJ coming back after Arj. Okay, so that's a really good point of conversation. Sometimes change isn't good. I still think Rise of Skywalker was way worse than The Last Jedi. I just hate what they did in The Last Jedi way worse than what they did in Rise of Skywalker. It's tough. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop in. Let's take a look really quick at what I'm talking about when it comes to Iger moving in and just absolutely, I mean, the dude's putting on moves rapidly. So Iger makes first big move in Disney return as analysts warn of uncertainty ahead. So I thought it was really funny that, they're calling this uncertainty ahead immediately this morning. If you checked Disney stock prices, it was up like $20. I mean, Disney stock prices went they shot through the roof on opening. So yeah, uncertainty for sure. But what really struck me was like the first thing that Iger does that's newsworthy is he comes in and he fires Kareem Daniel. So if you haven't heard, DMED is this, they're kind of like the structuring company that handles the distribution of content and the advertising of content for Disney Plus and Hulu and ESPN, all that kind of stuff. Dude just axed him right off the bat, which was huge. And then basically announces that they're going to have a massive restructuring of DMED, which is nothing small. I mean, you have to realize this was not something that flies under the radar. This was a massive move for him to fire Kareem Daniel. And then beyond that, now we're starting to get rumors and some kind of whisperings that maybe Kathleen Kennedy, and I realize that the difference between Yahoo Finance and the Direct here, I understand, but you have to realize this is a rumor that Kathleen Kennedy might be somebody who's getting an axe. Now, I don't think it's going to be tomorrow. As I stated in the video yesterday, I don't think Kathleen Kennedy is going anywhere this week. Could I be mistaken? Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. They could totally be, she could be gone tomorrow morning for all I know. Everything's kind of up in the air right now. But essentially, there was a dude who talked to a dude who talked to another dude who said these two dudes know what's going on in Disney, and Kathleen Kennedy may be out of Lucasfilm sooner than we expected. Now, I called basically the end of Indy 5. So right after Indy 5, we might see Kathleen Kennedy gone from Lucasfilm. And like I stated, I think it's going to be a big processional, very corporate boilerplate. Thank you so much for all the time that you gave us at Lucasfilm. We're so proud of you. Thanks for your contributions to pop culture. Now go away. People are saying at this point, it might be sooner than that. This may be sooner. It could be before Indy 5 comes out. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you're looking at a bunch of news articles or a bunch of YouTube videos saying Kathleen Kennedy is going to be fired tomorrow, I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. So the article says, after 10 years in the position, Kathleen Kennedy's reign, I like how they call it a reign, Kathleen Kennedy's reign at Lucasfilm is rumored to be coming to an end in 2023. Kathleen Kennedy has been president of Lucasfilm since 2012, when George Lucas sold his company to Disney, Everybody remembers that day for $4.05 billion. During her time as president at Lucasfilm, she's produced 5 live-action Star Wars films and began a new television era for the galaxy far, far away on Disney+. What do you guys think about that? Out of 5 movies, how many were successes? And out of all the shows, how many were successes? Give me a, if you can in the chat, give me a grade so far. This is your student. You're a master of Star Wars. You guys are all masters of Star Wars if you're in my chat. So give your student a grade. What do we think? Cody, it's interesting you say that because a lot of people say that when Chapek came in, one of his really big mistakes as kind of a corporate head was not nixing all of the loyalists from Iger. It's kind of interesting that you put that up there. Coincidence that this source is Campia and the other news article on the right was about Namor's bulge, I think. Shut up, Matt. We were in Yahoo Finance before that, all right? You got to give me a little bit of credit. Leia Rose is in here. Good to see you. So, boilerplate. Need more of a lobster plate, am I right? I do like lobster. Not gonna lie. Okay, so we're getting grades in. We got a C+ from Ronnie. Leia, what is that? A 1 out of what? 1 out of 10? Dat Boy Steve is giving Kathleen Kennedy an A for her tenure. Wow, Dat Boy. Bill Tackett's given a D+. That's still technically a passing grade. Donna, F. That's not a grade. I don't know what you're doing. 2.5 out of 5 movies were successful, so that gives you a 50%, which is a failing grade for sure. Thinking about this makes my tummy hurt. A- for sure. Wow. Okay. All right. Recon Army's in here. What's up, brother? We're grading Kathleen Kennedy on her tenure here at Lucasfilm. So I have to ask you guys, and this is something I tackle kind of in my brain all the time when I'm thinking about Star Wars and could it benefit from Kathleen Kennedy basically just getting ejected from Lucasfilm? And I know for a long time, a lot of us thought like, yeah, 100%. If she leaves tomorrow, Star Wars is going to be better. I don't know that that's necessarily true anymore. I think the overall like happiness, the overall morale of the fandom would probably increase to a degree. I know that there's people who like the sequels. I'll never understand it, but I totally get it. There are people who like the sequels, but there's so much damage kind of attached to the Kennedy name that I think that there may be a big morale boost if Kennedy leaves tomorrow, which she's not going to. Again, I can't, because somebody's going to clip those 4 seconds and be like, X-Wing said Kathleen Kennedy's getting fired tomorrow. No, I didn't. But I have to feel like there is a certain degree of animosity between the fandom and the current regime at Lucasfilm. I think a lot of the excitement that people are getting, hearing the news about Bob Chapek being gone, they're all thinking that they're going to get some kind of a big change at Lucasfilm. But I got to be 100% honest with you, something that I'm going to stick with from what I said from last night's video into the live stream that I'm doing today. I don't know that this means a massive change for Star Wars. Again, anybody new that's popping in right now, this is a rumor. But a lot of us had speculated early on that she was going to be done after Indy 5 anyway. So I don't know that this is like a really big, massive, oh my God, Kathleen Kennedy might be gone. I don't think it's a really big bump. And a lot of us thought, as it says in the article here in Direct, that Bob Iger coming back may have entrenched Kathleen even a little bit more because they were, so far as we knew, some time ago, actually good friends. But there is a little bit of news coming out saying possibly they were not as close as we may have first thought. Okay, I got to take a break. I got to say what's up to the chat. Phil TMNT's in here. What's going on? James Kling says, F all Lucasfilm Disney's success she had nothing to do with. I don't think you're wrong there. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's tough. We can always speculate as to what she was involved and not involved with. But much like Lord of the Rings, when Peter Jackson was kind of left to his own devices when he went to New Zealand and there was no studio interference, I think that kind of happened with John when they were taking care of Mandalorian, at least in the first season. Like, it's a small project, nobody's going to care. And what scares the ever-loving crud out of me for Mando Season 3 is that there's going to be a lot of studio interference, and we're going to start to lose some of kind of that magic that Favreau threw into it. And by no means am I saying that Jon Favreau is perfect. We've certainly seen things from Jon Favreau that are worthy of criticism, but I don't know. I think when he's left alone, he can make a good story. Mark Miller, Corrupt R, man. I think even if she left tomorrow, the damage has been done. Yeah, 100%, dude. And there was a tweet. I think it was yesterday or maybe it was this morning. I don't know. The days are bleeding together, and it was like the Last Jedi is the worst Star Wars movie, and I still disagree. I think The Rise of Skywalker is absolutely the worst Star Wars movie that's ever been made. But The Last Jedi just did more to kind of the overall feeling of Star Wars that just, it really wrecked it. And a lot of people are stuck there. I think a lot of people are stuck in that mindset. I think it bled through into Mando. I think it bled through into a bunch of other things. There's definitely a portion of the fam. Look, here's the deal. There was one guy I was talking to, and I never see him anymore. His name was Phil. After the Book of Boba Fett, he burned, and it's the internet, so we'll see if this is true. I haven't seen pictures yet. Burned all of his Star Wars merch. Like, dude, that's some heavy dope, man. To take somebody who's been a fan since the 70s and have them burn all of their Star Wars memorabilia, that's a lot, man. So to kind of circle back, yeah, the damage has been done. I think the moving forward is going to be the really hard part. I pray to God, whoever they put in place of Kathy at Lucasfilm, I think it needs to be somebody fresh. And when I say fresh, I mean somebody that we're not familiar with. Because if it's somebody we already know, like, God forbid they say, like, hey, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are going to take over Lucas team, I still don't think people are going to be happy. Legitimately, I don't think people will be happy. I think we need something else. We need, you know who they should put in charge of Lucasfilm? They should put Doug Chiang in charge of Lucasfilm. Just stick him in there. Chewbacca says, I think we can all agree if Call of Duty was handled this way, it would be pitchforks and flares. Bruh, I don't know if you ever played friggin' Infinite Warfare, but that was trash. Boba Fett is where we saw how deluded John became. Spot on. Yeah, so Book of Boba Fett is Matt Rissman's favorite show. He loves that. I think he still thinks to this day it's the best Star Wars. It's the best Star Wars that's out there. But that was a big wake up. It was a huge wake up to a lot of people when it was like, dude, Favreau can do no wrong. Look at what happened with Iron Man. Look at how he's handling Mandalorian. Have you seen The Chef? Chef is such a good movie. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that we liked from Favreau, and then Book of Boba was just like, what are you doing? What have you done? It was surprising to me. And then the article started to come out about Tamara Morrison trying to talk to John when he was remote and saying, hey, look, here's the deal. I don't think Boba Fett should have his helmet off as much. Maybe we should put the helmet back on. I want to do this scene with my helmet on. And Jon Favreau's like, dude, just put the helmet on and say the lines. And that feels like a little bit of a death of creative freedom. I'm working on a project right now I feel very blessed to work on where, you know, everybody kind of gets a say in it. And like, hey, no, I don't think Star Wars fans would like this. Oh, I think Star Wars fans would like this. And you kind of workshop it and you find something that seems to work with everybody. I burned sage after sitting through TLJ. This house is clear. I'll be honest, I haven't watched it in a while. Not too long ago, somebody convinced me to read the novelization of TLJ, and there was a lot of stuff in there that was better. And I think it's because Rian Johnson didn't write it, if I had to be honest with you. He wants to forget the Bast. God, I'm stuffy. Hold on. I gotta clear this up. Okay. They want us to forget the past, but if the past has taught us anything, it's that we can't let their past affect our past. Yeah, it's an interesting take, man. Honestly, like, I get asked so often, can you go back and watch the original trilogy and not get mad? It's like 100%, dude. They can't ruin Star Wars for me. They may have ruined modern day Star Wars for me, but they can't ruin the original Star Wars for me. Not a chance. Say FGL, but the actual, I don't know what FGL is. Fun golf love. That's like my eat, pray, love. Fun golf love. John wasn't even there. Look, that guy is extremely busy, so I can't blame him for not being on the set. But not listening to your actors and not listening to, I mean, Tamara Morrison's been in it since George days. He's acted in Star Wars movies with George, so I would have probably taken a little bit of direction, you know, or at least a suggestion. So I wanted to pull this next article up. I thought this was interesting. Andor director explains why season 1 ignores the Jedi and the Sith. Now, I feel like to a degree, this should be pretty self-evident, right? The Jedi and the Sith aren't really running around right now. Am I crazy? But it's not just the article and the fact that it needs to be said. What I thought was interesting comes a little bit further down in the article here. In an interview with Collider, director and producer Tony Gilroy talked about avoiding the Jedi and their lightsabers while crafting the story of Andor Season 1. When asked if the people on Ferrix, the second home planet that Cassian was forced to flee from, know anything of lightsabers, Gilroy noted that most people don't know, and that it was one of the first things asked. It's what he meant by FGL. Oh, man, I still can't get behind that sentiment. I can't get what is this giant? Get out of here. I can't get behind the FGL movement, man. A lot of hardcore Star Wars fans are like, FGL, man. FGL, you shouldn't have sold. Screw that guy. And like, I get it, but I can't say those 3 words. That's like saying 666. It's not good, man. I don't like it. It feels gross. It's wrong. It's like saying I don't love my wife. Like, it's just terrible. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And it is spicy. It's a very, very spicy take. I don't mind Spicy's take. Spicy takes. What's up, Jorge? How you doing? Watching Book of Boba Fett was like being hit in the gut. I'll be honest with you, man. I feel so. It's so funny because when you're in a Star Wars community and you talk to a bunch of people, I feel like I'm always on the wrong side of the fence. I'm somewhere opposite of the way of somebody is thinking constantly. For me, Book of Boba Fett was painful to watch, but not the kind of pain that I experienced when I was watching Kenobi. Kenobi hurt my soul. I gotta tell you, that show was it was so bad that it was, I can't describe it, dude. I literally can't even describe how bad it was. Which button do I need to hit? Here we go. Kenobi hurt me more than anything. It hurt me more than The Last Jedi, I'm gonna be honest with you. Cody says, I'm sorry, but Tony Gilroy's opinion means nothing. Nothing. He said he does not like Star Wars. People would still be talking about the Fall of the Republic and the Fall of the Jedi. Dude, here's the big deal, man. Honestly, when I think about people that I want to write Star Wars, honestly, I like people that don't like Star Wars to write Star Wars. Because their focus is less on precisely what it means to be a Star Wars story, and they focus a lot more on the story itself. And then you give it a nice Star Wars skin. So I feel like that's something that kind of happened in Andor. They wrote a good story, and then they put a Star Wars skin on it. The only thing I would say is that legitimately they messed up in a couple spots with the skin, for sure. And I don't think the story is without its problems. I'm certainly not one of the people out there on Twitter saying that Andor is God's gift to the Star Wars fandom and it's the best thing it's better than George Lucas Star Wars. It still shocks me every time I see that. But the really difficult conversation we have to have is do we want to spend the time as a fandom really shitting all over the show, when I personally feel like this is a step in the right direction, and maybe you don't throw a golden nugget at Lucasfilm, but at least throw them a bone and be like, hey, you guys are trying. It's not perfect, but my God, you guys are trying for sure. So I've been enjoying it. I'll be honest with you. You fucker. He doesn't believe that. Don't worry, everybody. He doesn't believe that. Maybe he does. I don't know. He's been losing his mind. He's getting a little old. He's going a little senile. But I'm interested. What's really going to be interesting moving forward is going to be the dichotomy between the fans' reaction to Andor, and then when Acolyte and Skeleton Crew and Ahsoka come out. And to see how people gauge the reaction of that, I think is going to be extremely interesting. Extremely interesting. I think Tales of the Jedi and The Bad Batch are pretty much going to fly, for the most part, probably under the radar. Nothing too crazy. Honestly, since Clone Wars, animation kind of flies. I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't really get any press. People don't really care about it, which is crazy because Clone Wars was so big. But honestly, in the Star Wars fan base, the animation stuff just doesn't really, doesn't get a whole lot of spotlight. So, God, I'm sorry. Is this a part 2 to something? Oh, yeah, I got totally off of track. Thank you for bringing me back on. It would 100% be common knowledge for anybody on Ferrix to know about lightsabers and Jedi, all of that stuff. There's no way that, they had Phase 2 troopers walking through there. 100% they knew about the Grand Army of the Republic, and who were the generals of the Grand Army of the Republic. They were Jedi. So they know what lightsabers and stuff are. I can totally understand, backwood planets and stuff like that, but you know who the Jedi are. They were reigning supreme for frickin' ever. Forever. Luke, it's good to see you, buddy. I got your message on Twitter. I hope you're doing okay. It has been a heck of a time, dude. I've been enjoying watching your responses to people on Twitter. It's been good. You always make good Twitter content. Look, man, if 25% is what you enjoy out of the show, that's awesome, because that's 25% more than I enjoyed out of the past 2 shows. At least, like I said, again, we have to have the conversation. At least it's an attempt to tell a good story. I understand that the pacing doesn't work for a lot of people, but my God, at least it's an attempt. And I have to wonder, I don't know if this is true, I have to wonder why it's not garnering so much attention from the media and it's not getting so much viewership, is because it's not that bad. It's easy to make content about a show like Kenobi and Boba Fett. You either rip on it until you're blue in the face, or you're one of the people who rips on the people who are ripping on it, aka toxic positivity. You rip on them until you're blue in the face. It's kind of like this. It's like a toxic boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. When shows like that come out, everybody's got something to talk about, because they're either talking about the show or they're talking about the people talking about the show. Andor doesn't really have that. All it has is, fairly decently solid content that I think probably could have used a little bit more of a deft hand when it came to the prop department. I think the set design and the cinematography is beautiful. I think the script writing is done well too, which doesn't really make for good YouTube content, I'll be honest with you. Because a lot of people just like to bitch about stuff, I'll be honest with you. And I can't blame them after everything that's been going on. Did I miss a super chat? I totally missed a super chat. Hold on. When the heck did that come in? How did I miss that? It's not even showing up. What the hey-ho, y'all? There it is. I got it. X-Wing loves Omega. That's not it. Showroom Sabers, $4.99. Any chance of doing a call-in to discuss the state of Star Wars post-Chapek and how they can win us over moving forward? Yeah. We can do a little call-in. I like that idea, actually, showing him. I think I'm not gonna do it on this one because like we're already rolling in and going. Actually, you know what? Whatever. Are you in my Discord under a different name? Send another message so I can see it. I'd be interested to hear. Be either hot or cold or spit out what is lukewarm. Yeah, kind of tough. X-Wing, no one is watching Andor. Where to go? X-Wing, no one is watching Andor, figuratively speaking. It's not gripping or great nor good. Otherwise, everyone would be raving about it. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, man, is that's what YouTube is. It's sensationalism. I think I said this in the last stream too, is that nobody wants to watch a review where somebody's like, well, this was pretty good. And this part was enjoyable too. I had a small problem with this, but also this was good. Nobody watches that. Not Andor. Nobody watches that. And honestly, you know, to be honest with you guys, it's been tough for me with this show because as I've been watching it, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster of like, love, hate. There are parts of the show that I think are absolutely amazing and perfect. There are other parts of the show that I abhor and I think should be erased from the annals of Star Wars history. And it hasn't really been consistent for me in terms of how awesome it is. But when it hits, it hits. And then the rest is just kind of Star Wars content. You know, I've said it a million times. I think this is a really good show for expanded universe folks. And it's doing well. It's doing well enough to keep me interested. And I really wish I could do a stream tomorrow after the finale. But unfortunately, I cannot. I won't be here. But I am going to meet up with Matt Rissman down in Disneyland, and I'm going to try to do a stream from Galaxy's Edge when I'm in Disneyland, because I went to the one in Disney World. I was completely not blown away from what I saw. I was not blown away at all. Sorry, I got distracted there for a second. Hold on, I have to close something. I'm not paying attention. Stop messaging in the old people chat when I'm on stream. Pulls me off. Anyways, yeah, I want to do a stream from Galaxy's Edge because I went to the one at Disney World and I was not impressed at all. My wife and I were kind of running around anyway. We didn't have a lot of time. I did pop into the cantina and I had a very normal experience, I guess. You walk in and it's kind of, I don't know, doesn't really feel like Star Wars. I don't know. It was weird. I feel like I have to go back in now that I've been there once and give an actual kind of a review of what I'm seeing there, because when you first get there for the first time as a Star Wars fan, I'm 30 years old. I'd never been to 31 now, Christ. I'd never been to Galaxy's Edge. You're just kind of trying to soak it all in and like see what's going on. And honestly, I was pretty underwhelmed, but this time I will come in with a critical eye. I'd like to make a couple assessments of what we're seeing, but are you a big fat turkey? Curious minds would like to know. Yes?
I will send you to Jesus.
I don't even know. Yeah, I guess I'm a turkey. I'm a jive turkey. Honky. Luke says Andor is good. Definitely has EU in it. I do think we might just get a glimpse of Yavin 4. That could be interesting. That'd be cool. You know, I'm all for little tie-ins and stuff like that. I think a part of me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I love fan service. I'm a big fan of fan service if it's done well. I can't tell you how many times I've brought up Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan showing up in Rogue One. Thought it was totally unnecessary. Didn't like it. Didn't need it to be there. I just didn't like it. I didn't think it was necessary. And then there are a couple other times where you have great little fan service in Rogue One. So it really depends on how you do it. I think Andor could have used... I don't know. It's tough, man, because there are so many small love letters to like hardcore fans of Star Wars that casual fans would never see. right? I mean, you're referencing stuff in the Old Republic. You're seeing stuff from video games. There's a lot of stuff in there to love, but I think there's a part of me that kind of wishes they peppered in something a little bit more blatant. I don't know. I think I'd have to think about that a little more. Where has the romance gone in Star Wars? Bill, what do you want? There's the lesbian couple. That was romance in Andor. I think that was the only romance in Andor. Well, I mean, I guess it depends. If you consider Serial and his absolute love obsession with Deidre and stalking her around and everything, I guess that qualifies. You don't remember 31? I don't remember 20 through 29, so I guess we're fine. Monty G, can't believe GE isn't in Tatooine. That was the original plan, but your boy that's coming back in right now, and KK gave it the squash, so they wanted to do something new. Most 30-year-olds hate Disneyland, yet love Disney World. Not until 40s when you appreciate the Disneyland parks. So I grew up with Disneyland. Disneyland's always kind of been my spot. I went to Disney World once when I was 9 in 2000. There was a place called the 1900s, and we thought that the world was going to end at the stroke of midnight on 1999, according to Y2K. I was in Disney World running around when Y2K was supposed to hit. I like Disneyland. I've always liked Disneyland. I think it has a little bit more charm. Mark Miller, for $10. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. $10. Generous as hell. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. I think the damage to Star Wars is done. It's like marriage. We've been cheated on multiple times now. The trust is gone. All that's left is the good memories from times long past.
Emotional damage.
I gotta be honest with you, man. I agree with you and I disagree with you for a couple reasons. So one, the damage to Star Wars is done. Agree, 100%. Yes. Is it like marriage? To a degree, yeah. I'm stuck with this shit for life. I'm stuck with it. I mean, it's never going away. Star Wars is always going to be a part of my life. We've been cheated on multiple times now and the trust is gone. Yes, 100%. That's very true. But all that's left is the good memories from times long past. I think the combination of those two, there has to be a way forward. And maybe it's the optimist in me, but I just don't feel like it's dead forever. You know what I mean? And I've had so many times in my, it's not even been 2 years now I've been on YouTube. It's not even been 2 years. There have been so many times where I felt like, dude, it's done. I don't want to make content. There was a time after Kenobi where I literally almost just threw the channel in the garbage. And I'm like, I'm done. I don't ever want to talk about Star Wars again. Like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm just going to stay in my little happy place and that's it. But the optimist in me just says that there is a way forward. And yeah, it's going to be rough and it's going to be rocky and it's not going to be easy, but it's what I want, okay? I want you forever. That's me in Star Wars. I got the Notebook relationship. You know what I mean? It's not going to be perfect, okay? We're going to fight. That's kind of where I'm at. So, thank you for the super chat again. It's not dead. It's not dead for me, man. It's never going to be dead. But do you think we might get Palpatine? I hope not. I pray to Bob. I pray to the Bobs above that we do not get Palpatine. If you want to give me a little bit of Death Star action in Andor, yeah, sure. Give me some of that. A couple more TIE fighters, maybe another Imperial Star Destroyer. Yeah, I'm good with that. I don't think we need Palpatine. Just saying. What the F is up with the damn cereal moments? I don't want to see cereal in Star Wars. They're setting up for their cereal O's that they're going to sell at the Disney parks and then the Disney store for $45 a box. Don't forget your cereals. another thing that they're doing in Andor is that they're approving mothers guilt tripping their sons, which is also very profitable for Disney. You never took me to Disney World. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. 26-year-old Burmer, no clue how to use Discord. That's all right. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. I'll send you a. I don't know. How do we even? I don't remember how we talk. Stalkers aren't romantic. It's extremely romantic for one person. I don't think it's dead forever, to be fair, but I have no clue how they'd fix it at this point. Retcon the sequel trilogy and do it right? Not gonna happen. Yep. You're not wrong there. You are not wrong there. Enjoy watching the Titanic sink. It's been sinking for a long time. So many bobs. What they did with Luke, Sai, Kenobi, but do try to focus on the positives. Even within the weak content, let's hope John learned his lesson and Dave can just Star Wars that isn't always Ahsoka. Fat fucking chance, my good friend. Absolutely not. And I'll be honest with you, from the start of this stream until now, I legitimately do think, I mean, having KK out is probably going to fix morale highly.
It's kind of sad that we have to tear it down. That's the thing about movies. I'm always like, really? We built this amazing thing and now we have to tear it down?
I'm sorry, sir. It's time for you to leave.
See ya. That's all I could say at this point. I'm just kind of done with the reason I'm done with the regime at Lucasfilm right now is I mean, obviously I haven't been a huge fan of a lot of the content that they've put out. There's been a majority of the content that they've put out that I've had an issue with. At this point, I'm just done talking about it. If I never heard the name Kathleen Kennedy ever again, I'd be fine. I'd be totally fine. Scott Westbrook for $11.38. How do you do super chats with very specific numbers? I've always tried to do that. I can't figure it out. If they came out with 2 or 3 good products, I could forgive, but I can't forget. So define products and then define good, right? That's the tough part. I 100% agree with you that yes, 2 or 3 good products could set them on the right path. But what are products and what is good? That's my big question. So for me, I really need like a good, honestly, one really good movie and one really good show could get me back on track. I don't think Andor is that one really good show that gets me back on track. Namely because it hasn't really done enough to hype up the fan base to say that like we're back in it with Star Wars. Now, there's always going to be a small section of people who are like, Star Wars will never win me back. And I know that there are those out there, but I can tell you, even from a lot of the, like what people call the boilerplate grifters on YouTube with me talking to them about Star Wars, they want to see Star Wars succeed. They want to see it thrive. Of course, like we've all been fans of this stuff since we were kids. But what they've done is just not enough to bring them back. But just to say that they would never go back and they don't like it and blah, blah, blah. It's bullshit. It's complete bullshit to even think somebody is capable of actually letting Star Wars die. But there are those out there that are like that. So I'd be interested to see you. I'll look at the chat here as we go on to see what you mean by products. And thank you again for the $11 super chat. Very, very generous of you. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's tough. All right, I'm looking through the chat here. I apologize. I don't think that's name your sources, Darth Wizzy. Name your sources. 2 Bobs don't make it right. Is it true? Is KK out? No, KK is not out. KK is going to be around for a hot minute. I don't think it's going to be as long as some of us thought, but I wouldn't, at this point, I would say you probably give it a year and then we'll see. If not, she's going to stick it out to the end of her contract, which I believe is 2025, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I would love to see her go before that, for sure. I actually want to see her leave. Rumors that go nowhere. I want this to happen. Dude, all we have right now in the fandom for Star Wars is just rumors. That's it. We just have rumors. We have rumors about TV shows. We have rumors about toys. We have rumors about games. We have rumors about movies. Movies is definitely like the big hit for sure, and something that drives me absolutely nuts as somebody who's trying to bring you stuff to talk about. Movies are non-existent right now. And 2025, I think, was like, at this point, the soonest benchmark that we could possibly have a movie at this point would be 2025, which is ridiculous. It's not even 2023 yet. It's so frustrating. It is so frustrating just to see the big screen and Star Wars die. But again, this is kind of this is kind of a byproduct of something that was out of our control. The China virus really put a big stink in a lot of people's plans when it came to making movies and getting stuff like that released. There was a lot of, oh my God, the Revel lightsaber, I just saw that. There was a lot of money dumped into streaming services because I think people, maybe they weren't thinking 6 steps ahead, but a lot of people were just like, well, I guess we're living in our homes forever now, and we're never going to go see another movie. And so they put all their money into, like DMED I was talking about, into Disney Plus and releasing everything that they have and spending all their money on streaming services, because the data wasn't there to suggest that people were going to come back in any strong number to movie theaters until we saw shit that happened like Top Gun, where all of a sudden it was like, holy fuck, people are going to watch this movie. Maybe we should start making movies again. You know what I mean? So I think fairly shortly here, Avatar is going to be a really interesting metric to see where people are at when it comes to movies. I mean, Top Gun was obviously that pulls out all the old farts who like the 80s action movie. But Avatar was much more recent. I think there are a lot of people that don't. I mean, Avatar is really not a franchise that's considered like a gold standard, like a Top Gun or a Star Wars or a Marvel. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what people do. I know I'm going to be there opening weekend for all 3 hours and 10 minutes of that for sure. Yeah, and Indy 5 is going to be really interesting. Indy 5 is going to draw a crowd, but I think a lot of that is going to be hate watching. Hopefully. And it was funny. I was listening to R&B talk on that, on the Echo Bay stream, where it was like, man, yeah, and Spider-Man. I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted. Spider-Man was huge for that. People want stuff to fail before it comes out because they're so tired of the people who are running the show and the shit that they've said. And I can understand that. But again, I want pop culture to succeed. I want them to make good stuff. I want them to make good stuff. If they don't, I'm going to shit on it. Bottom line. Don't genie it, bro. They robbed us. First my childhood, now my adulthood. I don't know. I did the genie in Disney World, and it was stellar. I mean, I walked onto every single ride. It was awesome. $2 billion is a break even. Brian, send me that webpage that lists that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Avatar breaks $3 billion first month. I don't know. Numbers guy is Valiant Renegade. If you want to talk about numbers, talk to Valiant Renegade. Yeah, and I saw that tickets went on sale this week, and they confirmed it's a 3-hour and 10-minute runtime, which is great for me. I'm excited. You're hurting my feelings right now, Donna. I'm an Avatar simp. I love Avatar. It's just a good bit of escapism that's based in like normal human storytelling. You know what I mean? Of course, it's what we like. Dances with Wolves was huge. Pocahontas was huge. Avatar was huge. It's all the same story told in different mediums. I don't know why people hate on it so much. You know what I mean? Even Luke has seen it. Luke Skywalker saw Avatar. It was insane when you first saw it in 3D, and that whole technology was fantastic. But when you actually watch it at home, very different. Disagree. I still feel all the magic of seeing, you know, the prequels, watching it at home. It still feels like I'm in the theater when I was a kid. All right, kids. It is $6.50 p.m. I am going to go because I have to pack, because the second the clock hits 5 and I am off the phones tomorrow, I got to get on a plane and I am flying out of here. I'll try to make some content when I'm down there. Probably going to be shorts and stuff. I'm not bringing my camera. I'm not bringing anything like that. But we'll make a couple shorts. I will try to do a mobile live stream of Galaxy's Edge. Matt Rissman's going to be there. So we'll try to get some stuff together with Matt Rissman at some point. But yeah, that's been my little chunk of Star Wars for the day. Thank you everybody for joining me. I am not going to be around until Sunday. So I'm going to miss the giant, all the kerfuffle about the Andor finale. But I will say on Sunday, there's going to be a big show. So I'm going on Valiant Renegades channel with Forces of Light and Drunk 3PO. And I think Star Wars Meg might be there on Valiant's channel to basically do a post-mortem on Andor and kind of give our closing thoughts on it. And I can guarantee you right now, I think I'm going to be one of the only people that's actually saying like, hey, in the end all be all, it wasn't all that bad. It was actually kind of good. Let's not shit on it because at least they tried. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. It's going to be a big show. There's probably going to be at least 1,000 people watching, which always makes me nervous, but I appreciate everybody that was here. I think there were like 50 people in here at one point, so I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate you spending your time with me on this lovely Tuesday afternoon. I'm gonna peace out, make some dinner, keep crying about Star Wars. That's all I can do. I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you. And I forgot to roll the where's the video for the end of this thing? Where's the video for the end of this thing? I love you. Bye.
We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little.
The world he created exists for itself.
And so, my fellow nerds, ask not what your fandom can do for you, ask what you can do for your fandom.